Naomi, welcome to our first guest appearance on Summit Up. We have Naomi Czuba from NCD. Woo-hoo. Welcome, we're very excited to have you.
Thank you.
Naomi today is going to be talking about the power of having a community and how it can really impact your business and how it can really just build your business as well. So we're really excited. Naomi was our first ever client and she's back with us again doing some social media as she grows her business and changes it up a bit, which is fantastic. We're really excited. And I just think you have been absolutely amazing in my little journey in Alma Mountain. You brought the gin. This is courtesy of you. This started because you started doing gin Thursday, gin Fridays, and then
absolutely.
all that. It's just great to have you back on board, and you to me are the queen of community, so you are perfect for our podcast. So tell us all about your business.
So I run NCD, which is a dance school. It's like a community dance school, and I teach children from ages 3 upwards and also adults as well. We mainly do street dance, commercial, some jazz, some contemporary. Just love music and dance.
Good stuff. Yeah. And what makes you different to any other dance class?
I think we're different because we really try and create our own style. So we don't just do sort of the specific sort of technical stuff. Even though we do teach technique, we tend to really create our own specific style and music as well, the music that we use. I mean, there's probably other schools like us around there, but I think in this area, we're quite different because of the style that we create. It really is our own style. It's a mishmash of contemporary jazz, street, and we really try and maintain that. So we're not doing the same sort of classes as everybody else.
Yeah. So one of the reasons I got you on today is that it's really important from a marketing point of view to have a community and build a community. Without a community, it is really hard to kind of push your business to that next level. Yeah. And I think you're queen of the community. You have such a amazing community. I'm part of the community.
Yes, you are. Yeah.
The mums love it, the dads love it, the kids are so happy. But how do you think you've built such an amazing community of people?
Gosh, how have I built that? I think maybe it's because I am part of that community already. I grew up in London Coney, even though I left for a long time. I came back, so I really do feel part of that community, and I think it's really important for me and for the kids just to feel part of something. I don't ever want to come across as something that's unattainable to people. I want it to be on that level so everybody in the community can feel that they can be a part of that. And I just think it's really nice to belong. People love to belong to something. Especially something that's really like, it's fun, it's just it's a good vibe. I think that's how I've done it, and I've tried to just maintain being really accessible for everybody. So that's probably how I've done it. And also making sure that we take part in community events, so we always show our face. Maybe it's the Christmas lights that we're doing next week. Larks in the parks, picnic in the park, those sort of things. So we really have a community presence. I think that's important because most of the kids that come to the school are from the community. So I think it's important that we maintain that. But that's probably how we've done it. And I do know a lot of people as well in the community. So it's a lot of word of mouth and.
But it's that networking side of it, and I know it's your networking might be done in the pubs sometimes, but it is anywhere. You know what I mean? So it is building friendships with lots of different people. It is important.
Absolutely.
And I think in our village, one of the things that really stood you out as part of the community, and you say that you turn up to these events. I remember a Larks in the Parks where you got everybody up to slow dance, the slow part of keep wheels keep on turning. So you do it and then it speeds up, and the whole park was doing it. It was one of the first kind of times I think my daughter had just started and I just got to know you. The whole park, old people, young people, babies, children, the lot. All got up and everyone was part of your community.
But it's so great though, isn't it, when you can do something like that? Because I know that there's people that wouldn't do that. They just come and do their performance, and that's fine. And we do that as well. We have our performers, but we kind of like, I just welcome everybody. I think it's really nice to do that, and to like you say, get the young people, the kids involved, everyone. It's just something that you don't forget, is it? You know?
No, that stood out to me for sure. And then what kind of marketing tools have you used to really help you?
So I use my social media. I use Instagram, Facebook. My daughters are now using TikTok.
Yeah.
So they kind of deal with that a little bit more. I use that really. Gone are the days of flyers, having boxes of flyers around. But we did do that in the beginning. We started off just flyering everywhere anytime we did a performance. But now it is mainly through that. And just emailing, keeping in contact with people, that sort of way. But mostly it is social media. I get a lot of my customers actually from Facebook, because a lot of the mums are looking for groups. And it's also a lot of word of mouth for us, but that also comes via Facebook. So people will ask on groups, does anybody recommend somebody? And then lots of people will say NCD and various other dance schools. So that's probably my biggest way of marketing right now. And also performances.
Yeah.
That's another great way of just, because everybody can see, actually people hear about us, but they don't see what we do unless they're on social media. But that's a great way of doing, just getting out there and people performing, and just, because when they see the performances, they also feel that vibe. It's great. And performances outside of the community, competitions, that sort of thing as well. So that's probably how we do most of our
because you've got people
marketing.
coming from, it's not just the village, you've got
It's
people
not just
coming
the
all
village.
over, because there isn't really anything like what you're offering.
Yeah, which is great actually. And we've got people joining us as well we've done a few different performances in Stevenage and various places, Dunstable, and we've had people come and join us from there because they've seen the kids performing, and even the adults. We've had some people join us for our adult group because they've seen the adults on stage. So they come.
Your last
and
performance with the adults was amazing, by the way.
Oh my God, thank you.
It had a comedy side, but it was also really, really brilliant.
Yeah, it was great. And we really enjoyed it. But we had a couple of ladies come to class last night, and they're just blown away. They were blown away. They saw the performance. They're like, right, we've got to get in there. It's just, it's nice because we don't take ourselves seriously in that way. Even though we perform, we're not sort of a polished mums group. We just want to enjoy ourselves, and why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
I mean, again, you were probably one of the only ones where the audience started clapping. Yeah. It's a kids' performance, by the way. There's lots of kids there. There was 2 adult groups.
Yeah.
And you were the only ones that got them clapping.
Yeah.
And that's because that just shows that you like to have fun with it.
Yeah,
and it just like that energy just comes through whatever your dancers are doing.
That's great. Yeah.
So realistically, you've named a few different marketing techniques there. You kind of said networking, your community, word of mouth. And I think that word of mouth thing is, yes, people will hear about you, but then they'll go to your website, and then they'll go to your social media and see what you're about.
That's another one.
Before picking up the phone. So it is important to have a combination of different things. And also the way you kind of touch base with your community. You post stuff about what's going on as well, don't you, on social media, so their kids can see what's happening in the kids' classes, which I think brings those parents more involved. I personally, I have a daughter in one of the classes, and I love it when you post what they're dancing, because sometimes she's getting to that age where she doesn't want to show mum so much anymore, not so showy off as she used to be when she was little. So it's quite good. But then you also have that WhatsApp group as well, which really helps that community focus, I think. You're telling your community what's going on, you're reminding them. So I do think that's quite important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. And what do you think, what social media platform do you think works best for you in your business?
I think it's starting to change now. It has changed over the years.
Interesting.
I think Facebook was really good in the beginning. But I tend now, I think that's also because Facebook itself has changed. It's changed for the user.
Yeah.
I find it a little bit confusing at the moment. I find there's so much on there. It's just kind of lost that. It's actually lost that community thing. It was way more community before, and now I suppose like everything, it's come a little bit more sort of adverts and different things, and I just find it's a little bit overwhelming. But I think now I get a lot from Instagram as well, and I think because of what we do, like you say, with the videos that we're posting, Instagram's really good for that, for our videos and our photos. But they both work. They do both work. But I would probably say right now it's Instagram, and who knows, it might change back a little bit.
Yeah.
But we get a good response at the moment from that. But we used to get great responses from Facebook, and I probably built up most of my customers from there originally.
Yeah. And what's interesting is as you get younger mums,
Yes.
you know, they're not even gone on Facebook. If you think about none of my team under the age of 25 is on Facebook, apart from for business point of view. They're all on Instagram and TikTok. They don't even Google anything anymore. They go to TikTok and have a look. If they want a restaurant, they go to TikTok and see what it's looking like. So you're kind of, that's what I'm trying to tell business at the moment. You're kind of at a level where, you know, people have kids from age 25, like, you know, the average 25 to 30.
Yeah.
That's their new platform. So it's so important to be thinking about that as well.
It is. It's really interesting, actually, because we have a wide range of parents' ages and stuff, but they are very, very different. The way they communicate with me is very, very different in terms of the systems that we use and stuff like that. And you do find that it's the older parents that expect different things because even myself, we're used to having stuff done in a certain way, and things are changing so fast now. But I didn't know that about TikTok as well, about people go on there to just...
it's just working with people half my age, I learn a lot, Naomi.
This is it.
Yeah, and it's not going to be long, so it's definitely for your, you know, when it's the kids and...
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, this is what I say to the girls as well, that they need to use that platform more because they're also trying to fill up the classes that they teach. So I'm encouraging them to market to their audience, their age group audience, rather than me marketing to the mums all the time, which is fine, but we need kids marketing to the kids, actually, or the older teens, because the younger ones look up to them. So and it does all change so quickly. You just get the hang of it. I've just got the hang of it, you know, and it's like, oh right, I've got to do something else now.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think as well with the older kids that you've got, like the elite crews, what age are they range from?
They range from 12, 13 up to 18, 19.
Wow.
It's quite a big age.
It's a big age group. And they form their own little community with their little WhatsApp group as well, haven't they?
They love that group. They really do. And I just think it's nice because the younger ones do really look up to the older teens. Which I love, and they do. It just makes them bond a lot more. So they share videos. They've got reminders on there. They post their costumes or whatever, or they do little lists of what to remember to bring to a performance, and it just really brings them together. And doing that outside of class makes them bond even more when they come into class, and I think it makes the younger ones feel a little bit more comfortable because they've got that little bit of communication on the outside, so they feel like friends then, rather than just a group that meets once a week. They've still got that communication going on all week. But they did that themselves.
But do you not think that's testament to you building a community that they've kind of brought that through?
Yeah, I think so. Well, I'll take that. Yes, I will take that.
I think so. I think you're so nurturing in the way that you do it. You know, I know your daughters are taking over some of it now, but they've got that nurturing. They know, they've seen how you've done it, and they're doing the same thing, and then that passes through for all the age groups, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely.
All the older ones look after the little ones in the shows and things like that, and that's rare these days. Yeah. It's really rare.
I'm really big on that. I'm really, really big on anybody that comes through the door, because I know how nerve-wracking it is to walk into a dance school or a dance class and not know anybody, and then have to expose yourself dancing and kind of think, oh, it might be rubbish and everybody else is really good. It's really nerve-wracking for them. So I'm really big on, if anybody new comes in, you know, and I mean, now I don't have to say anything. They will just go up to that person and introduce themselves and make them feel welcome. And that's better. I think it's better coming from the kids than it is from me. I don't want to have to say, oh, this is so-and-so, make them feel welcome. They just go and do that. I think it's really, really important, especially now with kids on social media and all the aggro they get and stuff like that. And it's nice for them to feel really safe in a space, you know, just secure. And like you say, just nurture. I just think it's so important for our kids. Yeah.
And I think one of the things that has also really helped you to build a community is that you are different, you dare to be different, and you try and get everyone else to be different. Do you think that's what brings the kids and the parents of the kids to you?
Yeah, definitely. And it's You know, I want each and every one of those kids to be themselves, basically. So it is being different, but also it's being yourself, and the fact that you're different from somebody else should be celebrated. It's not something that you want to... I don't want all my kids to look the same. I don't want them to go on stage and everybody's exactly the same. Yes, I know I go on about hair being neat and tidy and stuff like that, but they don't all have to be the same height, the same hairstyle. Everything's got to be... I want them to have that individual style and really celebrate that for themselves, because there is so much pressure for them now to be the same as everybody else, and they don't feel like they're enough just as they are. And I just think, well, but we're all completely unique, and I think we have to celebrate that. And I think kids need to hear that much more, and the adults as well. It's the same for us. You know, women kind of get to a certain age, don't we, and we kind of hide away, and we're just like, oh, I'm just mum now, and we hide away. And I just think, no, why should we have to hide away? We can just come and dance and have a good time as well. I'm not saying that we're going to wear little costumes or whatever, or you know, but just be comfortable in our own skin. And if we do it, if we can't do it, then how are the kids going to do it? So we kind of have to show that. So they watch and learn, don't they? They're watching all the time. It's not necessarily what you say as well, it's what you do and how you behave. And they're just watching us all the time. And I think if we can't do that, then how do we expect those girls, especially girls, I think as well, how do we expect them to do that? But and
they are spending all their time on social media. I mean, I know I run a social media company, but I hate it. It's too much.
It is it really is.
And it's all about, body confidence. This is what you're kind of doing, body confidence and stuff like that. But they all kind of want to look the same, and I do think you are really installing that in them to be different. I do.
Absolutely. It's so much pressure on them. I know we all say it now. I know it is a massive thing about social media, and it's also about, because social media is a good thing. It is a good thing, but it's about how do we get them to use it in a healthy way. So go on social media and look for inspiration and look for styles that you like, and and take little bits of other people's styles or dance styles, clothing styles, whatever it is, but not to the point where you completely feel crap about yourself. It should be there as a tool that you can use to kind of uplift yourself and create your own style from that. It's a hard one, isn't it? It is a hard one, and it's hard to get them off it. But we just got to be clear about, okay, I mean, I am with my girls, I'm really clear about, don't look at this, don't look at that, whatever it is. Or I'll say to them, use it for this and that, take ideas, get some dance ideas, get some choreography, music, whatever it is. I don't know, it's quite a deep one, that, isn't it? It's quite...
It's a battle we're only just starting to
see,
it
really is.
It is,
It is, and like I say, it's not a bad thing, but I think we have to have that balance. We have to balance it out, and it has to come from us, really, because we know the other side. They don't. They only know, really, especially the younger ones now. They only know social media, but we don't. We remember life without that. So we just have to make sure that we explain things to them and just be open about it, and just teach as much as we can, and nurture them, and just let them know that they're great just the way they are.
Love that. So one of the things I think you've built a really good community for is that I think you're really authentic and you're really real. How do you keep it real?
Oh God, I don't know. I don't know. I can't be. Oh, don't, Emma. I try so hard sometimes to be really like, I'm professional, I'm this, that, and the other, and I can't. I just can't be anything else than myself. I just can't. And I think the times that you try and be somebody else or something else, it just doesn't work, and it just doesn't. I'm just so honest. I'm probably sometimes a little bit too honest, and I think it can be to my detriment sometimes, especially when you're running a business. I think it can be I think I'm a bit too emotional and a bit too honest, but I can't be anything else.
No,
I really can't, and that's just me.
I think as well, like, I'm a big believer of that. Your vibe attracts tribe. If you're bringing on a vibe that isn't really yours, you're going to attract people that you don't really want in your life. So what is the point? if my client doesn't hear me swearing the first couple of hours of meeting them, then that's not really me, is it? I can't really speak without saying fuck. Sorry, it's just how it works.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, well, that's me. I'm sorry. It's been quite a tough old life.
But that's why you've got such a great team now as well. And do you know what I mean? It's just so nice, and that's why I recommend you to people, because for me, I just think you're not stuffy. You're not like really corporate, and you're just real as well. And you're comfortable around people. So for me, I can come to you with business stuff and just feel like, okay, she gets me. She gets what I'm trying to put across, and you don't try and put me into a box and to be another way like every other dance school, or a bit more corporate or whatever. You just allow us to be NCD, and it's important, that stuff.
Well, I just think if you're keeping it real and you're authentic, that's what's going to bring people to you. So actually, let's just go with it. Let's get content on you being real and authentic. Because that's what makes you uniquely you, and that's what makes your business grow. And there's loads of people out there that you think have got their shit together, and they haven't. Even like Stephen Bartlett, we follow him. His podcast is amazing. He said he has not got his shit together. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Don't believe that. Oh my god!
Everybody, I don't think how successful you are. You're always kind of doubting yourself. So you just got to go with it. That
makes me feel good, because you don't know how many inspirational videos I watch and affirmations in the morning just to get me going. I'm like, come on, you got this, because I just feel like I haven't got my shit together. No, I'm a nightmare. I am a nightmare like that, but I'll admit it, and I try my hardest. That's all I can do.
Exactly.
That is all. I can't do it any more than that. No. And I have days where I'm really on it and I'm great, and I have days where I'm just like, oh my god, this is just like overwhelming me. But you just push through. You just push through and keep going, and just do as much as you can in that day. And that's all you've got.
Yeah. And I think, when your community is parents, I know it's the children as well, but it's the parents that make the decision.
Yeah.
They need to see that, because they don't want to think, I'm not taken to this dance school where she's perfection.
Yeah.
No one's perfection.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I forget my routines a lot of the time as well. It's getting worse. The older I get, I'm just like, what did I do? I mean, the adults are cool, because, they're all the same as well. All the women are like, we don't know. I think, great. Makes me feel better. But yeah, you just, I think it's really important just to be yourself, isn't it? Just to be real, and just be you.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah.
So one of the things I want to know is how you are so good at keeping the younger kids in check, for those parents out there, younger kids in check, and the teenage kids actually motivated.
Yeah. It's not easy. It's not easy, let me tell you. But I think I'm quite old school. I think that's what it is, and I think because of my dance training as well, it was really, really disciplined, and I just think the kids need it. And I actually really believe that kids thrive with a little bit of discipline. I love to have fun. I love them to run around and go crazy, but when we're learning so that they know, okay, this is the time now you need to focus and listen. This is the time you can run around and go crazy. And I think you set expectations with them. This is what I expect of you when you come in the classroom, and you set it from day one, and they just fall in line. They really do. And they need that, it's almost like a security for them. They need those boundaries, and they work so much better within them. And it's not always easy. I think the little ones are much easier than the teenagers, because you're dealing with then all the emotion and all of that stuff. That's been hard, and that's been a learning curve for me, because when we started, I had lots of little ones, and now some of them have been with me since they were 5, and they're now 18.
Wow,
so
that's amazing.
It's crazy, isn't it?
That's the community.
Yeah, right, that's just crazy.
It is.
And they've grown with me, so I've had to change with them, because they're growing into young adults, and they've become, not all of them, but some of them become stroppy and moody and this and that, and you just think, then you immediately think, oh my God, it's me, they don't like me or whatever, all of this stuff's going in your head, but they're dealing with their own stuff. So you just have to learn along the way. And also I think with the teenagers, giving them that responsibility and getting them to be in charge of the younger ones, getting them to teach, the WhatsApp groups, all of those things, I think really helps them. They love that responsibility. And it shows them I have that faith in them. I have the faith in them. I have trust in them. I know they're good enough to teach the little ones. or just they just when we go out for performances, they assist me, they do the costumes, whatever. Giving them that role with the teenagers, I think, is really, really good. And they all know I love them, even though sometimes I'm like, right, again, it's not good enough. But it's done with, I think if you do it with love, it comes across in a different way completely. And I always say to them, I'm doing this because I know it's in you to do better. I'm not doing it because it's rubbish. It's in you to do better. So I just need to pour that out of you, and they just need to let go and really express. But
it's hard as a teenager to express, though, isn't it? You feel like you're being watched all the time, and you've got to watch whatever people think of you. You're really paranoid about what people think of you at that age.
Absolutely.
Could you imagine being a teenager and not care what people think about you?
Oh my God.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Yeah.
When you get to this age, you kind of get not so bothered, are you?
Yeah, that's it. But it's funny because, like you said, the little ones, they really they give you a lot. They've got no inhibitions, and they really, really give you a lot. And then you watch them getting older, and all of a sudden it's almost like they regress because they've gone into that teenager, and they suddenly become really aware of themselves, and they shut down. So it's that little fine line. Do you know what I mean? You don't want to push them and make them feel uncomfortable and push them away from you, but at the same time you've still got to have that little thing going on with them where you can just kind of coax it out of them, because there's a few like that now going through that stage. Not that I've lost them, it's that I can see them going into it, and I suppose you just change your teaching tactics a little bit with them. But it's like I say, it's all learning for me, and every child is different. So what works for one child isn't going to work for another child. So it's just a constant learning. It's exhausting.
But it's a release, isn't it? Like any exercise for an adult is a release. For them to be able to go in, be free. My daughter's walked in there as moody as hell, thinking, I'm like, oh, this weekend's going to be great. And you've just transformed her in an hour, which is just money well spent.
Great. She's great.
She's only just begun, though. She's only just 13, isn't she? Nearly 13.
Oh, bless her.
But you don't see any of those, the teenagers, when they're dancing, looking like they are nervous or worried about it. So you bring it out of them. They're incredible.
Yeah, they're great. And I kind of do not let them get on with it in that way. I'm there teaching and overseeing. But for example, if we go on a performance or whatever, they get a nice little dressing room. So they have that little bit that they can bond there and just do their whole teenage thing or whatever. And I'm not constantly on their case looking what you're doing, this, that and the other. Just let them find that for themselves. I think that's really important as well. So, I've got my eye on them, but they feel like they're sort of doing their own thing, which is really important. Because they love that, don't they?
Love that, yeah. Okay, so how do you see your business moving forward, and how are you going to expand the community? Question no one likes that. When do you see yourself in 5 years' time, Naomi? I hate that question. I don't bloody know where I am tomorrow.
I know. No, but actually I do. It's funny because we've just kind of changed some of the systems in the business, which has made it much easier for us. I know I'm a slow burner. I know I'm a bit like manana, but finally after 12 years, I've done it. And I just can't believe, I just think, why didn't I do this years ago? So we are making changes. And going forward, I would really like to expand in a way where we add on more classes and we have more instructors, and we have more styles, because what I'd really love to do is continue with that community thing, but be like a proper dance school and have studios again, and our own studios, where there's a lot more classes to choose from, and a lot more different instructors. I know I've done it on my own for so long, and it's been great. I've got to where I am, but my body is telling me that I need to slow down, and I need to listen to my body. But I also think that sometimes you can have too much control of your baby, and it's time to sort of like, in order for me to grow, I think I need to kind of open it up to other instructors as well, because I really want the students to get experience from other teachers. It's really, really important, not just me, not just the one style. I've seen how much they've grown from my daughter choreographing.
So why do you think NCD has been so successful?
Because of me, of course.
Obviously, yes.
No. I think because I don't know, we're just kind of like approachable and we're not stuffy. We're just, we like to have a relaxed environment. We do have loads of fun and we do have a really great energy. And I think we're quite, we're not old fashioned. And I think that's important with the kids as well. We try and bring that, well, I do try and bring that young vibe in.
You
for the
are
kids.
definitely the youngest 50-something I know.
Yeah. I don't know about
Sorry,
that.
40-something. Let's cut that. 40-something I know.
Yeah. But I just try and I really try to keep it fresh for them. I think that's why. I don't know. And maybe it is like the personality. I'm just kind of like, yeah.
I think you're in your presence and you've automatically got this energy that's come from nowhere, or this happiness that's come from nowhere.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you bottle that, but if I could, I would.
Yeah, I would as well. The amount of people that say that
Yeah.
to me, if I could bottle it, then I definitely would.
And I can't dance for toffee, but the amount of when I've been to some of the mums gym ones where I've just been on such a high for days.
Yeah.
Really, really good. Really good.
Oh, that's great.
So what's been the highlight of your personal career? What things have you done?
Oh my goodness. So it's been a long one, that has. I did actually, one of the highlights was I danced for Nelson Mandela.
Oh, I did not know this.
Yeah,
oh
I did, on stage in Leeds. Yeah, when he visited the UK and came up to Leeds, and I was dancing with Phoenix Dance Theatre, and we performed in front of him on stage, and I shook his hand twice on the way on and on the way off. So that was a real highlight actually for me. Yeah, that was great.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Love that.
It was brilliant. There's been lots of little highlights actually. But probably creating NCD, because I finished my career as a dancer in my early 30s because I had children, so I couldn't go back to full-time dancing. And then I thought, well, I'm not going to do anything now. I didn't set out to run a school, and I just sort of fell into it. And actually, it's probably been the thing that I've done the best out of everything. I didn't set out as a dancer to teach. I've always taught, but I never wanted to be a teacher. And then as I started teaching, I found out that actually I was really good at it. So for me, because it means that I share my passion with so many other people. So that's probably one of the biggest highlights as well.
Yeah.
And also it means that I've got something to pass on to my girls as well, which I never, ever thought. That was not part of the plan. And it's happened. So I feel completely blessed about that.
Yeah.
So for me, that is a massive highlight. Yeah.
Love that. And what's the one thing you change about your NCD and why?
I don't know. What do you mean? Like, what?
Was there one business-wise? Have you made
Right.
any business mistakes?
Oh my God, Emma. Oh, where do I start? Have you got all day? I've made so many mistakes. I would, if I could do it again, I would do it very differently. I would and I wouldn't, if you know what I mean. Because I've learned so much, so that's a positive.
Yeah.
I've learned so much over the years, even though I've done it, I've learned the hard way. I really struggle to ask for help. I tend to just kind of, I'll do it, and then I get really overwhelmed, and then I start suffering because I can't, then I just shut down. So I would definitely ask for help from the start, most definitely, and I would delegate things to other people more, things that I'm not good at, things that I've struggled with for ages trying to get my head around it. I would definitely do that, just delegate to people, get people to do the jobs that you can't do or are no good at. Just share the load. There's lots of little mistakes along the way, but mistakes are good because you learn so much for them. So I'd probably get a coach earlier on as well, some kind of coach to
Yeah.
help me in business, because I knew nothing about business at all. I still know nothing about business.
That's not true. You've got a very
I've
successful
learned a
business,
lot. I've learned a lot. But yeah, I just get as much help as possible if I had to do it again. Yeah, but I don't have any regrets, because I think it's been a massive learning curve for me, and there's only good that's come out of it, really, even though some of the times have been a real struggle. But I would definitely ask for help.
Love that.
Yeah.
And then, dare I say it, you are the community queen, in my opinion. But what is one of the worst bits about having a community?
Okay, it's you can't go out and get up to no good. Yeah, the parents are like, "You're my child's dance teacher."
Yeah, I suppose that's the same for
Yeah.
all teachers, right?
Yeah, it must be. Yeah.
It's a big, I'd be
Yeah.
in trouble.
No, it's there's a little bit of pressure there, because you are a member of the community,
Yeah.
and parents and the kids look up to you, so there's a little bit of pressure there on you to not let them down. You don't want to let anybody down, so that can be a pressure.
Yeah.
And I'm quite an emotional person as well, and I tend to put others before myself a lot. So that in itself gives me pressure, because I don't want to upset people. I don't want to do the wrong thing. So sometimes it takes me forever to make a decision, because I think about everybody else and all these people and what they would think, when actually I should just kind of go, look, this is a business decision. I've got to do it. But for me, that is a bit of a pressure, not letting people down, and not letting the kids down. You've just got to do your best, haven't you?
Yeah.
And keep going.
Yeah, but I mean, you can say, this is a business decision, but it is your community, isn't it? You've built this community over 12 years.
Yeah.
It is hard. And I know you've had to make some hard business decisions recently,
Yeah.
but your community, that are your real strong roots of your community, will understand that.
Absolutely.
We're in a cost of living crisis.
Yeah.
It's all change everywhere.
Absolutely.
And that's why it was so important to build your community, so you can succeed in tough times.
And I have to say, the community have really supported. They've been really good, because that's been a hard couple of months for me, and they've really supported. So and actually, you make these decisions, you have to remember you're making these decisions to make it better for everybody. It's not just for me. It's going to help the business grow, which in turn means that I can do more for my community and for the kids and for the parents. So it's just something that's got to be done. I mean, it hasn't really changed in 12 years, to be honest with you, apart from moving venues. But the way that I've run it hasn't really changed, so we had to have a sort of a massive revamp, and that's been really hard, because you get stuck in your old ways, don't you? And it's like you say, everything has changed around us, so you have to change with it. But
good stuff. And then, what has been your favourite NCD memory?
Oh my gosh, there's been loads, actually. There's been loads. Oh, I tell you what was really nice. There has been loads. All the performances have been great, because you guys always really cheer at the performances, and I love that. And I always cry at the end. I get really emotional, but I think that's just oh my God, it's done. But last year we did the Christmas lights switch on, and it started snowing.
Oh, it did.
It was just it just couldn't, everything just at the right time, and the guys just kept going. There's that one, and it was beautiful. It was really snowing quite heavily, and they just danced in the snow, and it was just perfect.
Yeah.
It was perfect timing. Then we switched the lights on after that. Was great. But also we did a Larks in the Park really early on, when we were Kids Can Dance. Remember Kids Can Dance? It was really early on, and it absolutely poured down with rain, and the kids were performing, and I was going, come on, get off, and they would not get off the stage. They kept going and kept going. They were drenched, but they just wanted to dance in the rain, and that was just lovely. And they were really small. They were small ones, and that was lovely. The fact that they just didn't want to stop, and it was properly pouring down, but they just kept going. That was lovely, actually.
Yeah. That's your values in them, isn't
really
it?
Nice.
You just keep going.
Yeah.
Love that.
That was lovely, actually. But there's been so many memories, and we just have a great time. We really do. Yeah.
Fantastic. So, last question. we always ask people to sum it up, because that is the name of our podcast. So running a business and building a community. What advice would you give to people? Sum it up.
Get help. Get help.
Yeah.
Don't do it on your own. Get help. Get somebody to do your marketing. Get someone on your website, whatever it is. If you can get yourself a coach, because it really, really does help. You need somebody, especially if you're a small business or you're doing it on your own, you need somebody to back you up. And that, though, even if it's just those 3 things, that will help you massively. Do not try and do it on your own. And I think if you could do that from the start, you'd get to where you want to go quicker than 12 years.
Absolutely love it. Naomi, you've been amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me.